Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we are getting back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But first, real quick disclaimer. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Socks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all pertinent links right there in the description box. So should you like to do a deep dive on either subject, you're definitely able to do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity, and when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you got a child that is 16 or younger and they're watching this, very obviously parental supervision advised, alright? Alright, let's get back to where we were. This one states, I am a disabled individual with several other disabled individuals in my family, including autism, and believe this device should be banned. If my child hits their sibling and I hit them for it, that's abuse. If my cat is chewing an itch to bleed and I kick them for it, that's abuse. If my spouse is rude and I threaten them to stop them, that's abuse. That doesn't stop applying just because we're talking about disabled people. Thank you! Thank you! Finally! We have read through multiple comments. First time somebody actually said it. So I'm going to read that again. So good it must be fattening. I need all of it. Make it into a pie. Or mainline it straight into my veins. Let me read that again. If my child hits their sibling and I hit them for it, that's abuse. If my cat's chewing an itch to bleeding and I kick them for it, it's abuse. If my spouse is rude and I threaten them pain to stop them, that's abuse. And that doesn't change just because we're talking about disabled people. My label does not give you the excuse to torture or abuse me. That's what she said. That's what she's saying. That's what we need a whole hell of a lot more people saying. Make it blunt. Alright? We're living in a culture with an extremely short attention span. Something short and sweet like that will actually get the kind of impact that all these flowery PC words, God, it gets us nowhere. Quit policing our language. Let's work on actual problems and actual ableism, please. Just saying. God, it's annoying. The use of physical pain rather than putting in time and effort actually understand and work out a proper way to manage a problem is unacceptable and should be treated as such. Thank you, Brianna. Say it louder for the people in the back. Somebody get her a soapbox. I'll find her a megaphone. I'm not lying. Totally would. Alright, let's move on to the next comment here. Alright, we got another bit of a novel, but it's a template we've seen before for people who practice ABA. So we're just going to read straight through it here real quickly. It says, ban all electric stimulation devices used to treat aggressive or self-injuring behavior, both devices and those presently existing. No label will make these devices safe. The Judge Rotenberg Center is, as I understand it, the only remaining facility still using this painful, terrifying, and dehumanizing practice. They have used this in combination with restraints causing several deaths. Clock it! Clock that shit! Thank you, Judith. I'm gonna read that again. I love people coming to the front with truths in the afternoon. Gives me the warm and fuzzies, it does. Facts. They are my comfort zone. In case anybody's ever wondering. people have reported nightmares, overwhelming fear and anxiety, and post-traumatic stress symptoms after treatment. And they have caused the deaths of 6 students. I love that they came forward and reminded everyone, because everybody forgets that part. Everybody forgets the part that because of the JRC's existence, whether they're the Behavioral Research Institute or JRC, it's the same entity. They have the death of 6 children on their hands. Now, if that were any other type of residential school facility, it would have been shut down. And the people arrested, people in jail. But because it's a school for us disabled people, somehow that provides wiggle room that shouldn't exist. It shows us how much our disabled, people with mental health issues, and the elderly are so devalued by society. And that's why, as a young adult, late teenager, I discovered that seeking their approval didn't matter to me anymore. Right? That's just the route of pain. Right? But in the treatment sphere, it still matters, unfortunately, how we're viewed. Because how we're viewed is going to affect the doctors and their overall treatment program that they put us on. In my home, it doesn't matter. If I'm going to the doctor, and yes, folks, I'm not above reading my doctors the Riot Act. I have done it more than once, and I'm not sorry. One of the first times they began to talk over my head to my mom gave them her signature, "Your next move might be your last" look, that is known to scare, like, Army veterans who have engaged in active combat. And she's like, "I believe she just answered your question." Dared them to say something else. Anyways, you get my point. Sorry about that. Their lives were made worse, not better. Effects on behavior were often not long-lasting. In some cases, the targeted behavior, after a time, worse. Multiple state reports have found that the torture devices were used for even minor infractions. No positive reinforcement interventions were observed in using at the Judge Rotenberg Center. "But we did just take the tour. Don't you see our party room and chokings?" And your oldest resident is 53. "If he behaves neurotypical enough, he'll get time in the ballroom." As in, you jump into a pool ball filled with plastic balls. In the ball pit, as we used to call it. You really think that's appropriate as a reward? Yeah. Neither do I. Positive intervention methods of helping people who self-harm, and lash out are documented to be effective and now more widely used. Work to further develop this approach needs to be supported and disseminated. When workers who have been trained in positive intervention methods go home to their families and out into their communities, they are a positive influence. Workers who control these devices of torture, what can they bring back to their families, their communities, and the jobs they will have in the future? The rot for places like the Rotenberg Center seeps out and affects us all. These devices are dangerous, harmful, and unnecessary. Ban them. Go off, Judith. And thank you. Thank you for being one of the very few people who have pointed out about the deaths of those 6 kids. And if you want more information in regards to the death of those 6 kids, if you go inside the description box, you're going to see something as a link that says Autistic Hoya's Massive Archive. I want you to open up that link, and there's going to be literally all the receipts you can hope for. The archive is actually labeled very well by Lydia Brown, Autistic Hoya, who runs it, and you should be able to find documentation regards to those students throughout the entirety of the archive, including one of them that has a court transcript in regards to the death. So, if you want more information, it's going to be one good place for you to go. Alright. Now we're going to read the third one before we close out. Alright, this says, please ban the inhumane use of electric shock therapy on autistic individuals. The fact that this has not happened sooner is disgraceful. Electric shock therapy is torture and should not be permitted. Well, that says it well, folks, so we're going to go again after this one and close out. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. If you all would be so kind, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments, and make sure you're set up for notifications. On Saturday, we're coming back with another episode of Down the Rabbit Hole, to be followed up Sunday for the new episode of the Snake Oil Salesman series. We don't want you to miss anything, and probably, thanks to our orange orangutan, there will be another series in works that attacks this Tylenol nonsense directly. What is sleep? I don't remember that anymore. I do appreciate your time. As always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. And remember, do not take your eye off the ball. Do not let all this hoopla going on right now in the news distract you. Keep your eyes on Senate and Congress and what they're passing. Eyeball it. Otherwise, they're going to slip things in, and we're going to be in a worse off situation before we even knew what hit us. Alright, bye-bye everyone. We'll see you next time.